Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, we're in downtown Paphos and we're heading out towards Chlorakas. That's where we're going to go. So the starting point is Army Village. We're going to drop down through Konia. We're going to take a bit of a right up past the General Hospital. We're going to join the main Anabargus Road down to Midtown Paphos, and we're going to go down to the former Fountains Roundabout. I think that's what it's actually called, or that's what I like to call it anyway. And then we're going to take a bit of a right again, and we're going to head to the crossroads and the bottom of the Masui Road. So if you now and again come back and watch Mr. Paul driving around and listen to his nonsense, slowly but surely you will get to learn your way around Paphos, because I don't think there's anybody, and I mean it, and I am boasting, I don't think there's anybody that knows Paphos quite as well as me. I don't know the road names because not even the locals know the road names, and they can't pronounce them themselves, never mind us foreigners. But anyway, look at that for a view. In the distance is the blue Mediterranean Sea, and by goodness it's looking blue today. The sky, there's a little bit of dust still in it, but it is looking very blue indeed. Mr. Paul is dread head to toe in blue, but one thing is for sure, he's not drinking the blue stuff. Oh no, he's got a can of the real thing, and he's just about to have a little slurp, especially for Miss Andrea. Hold on a minute. That is absolutely to die for. Chilled just perfectly from my fridge before I set out. So I'm going to slurp on this can of Coke as we wiggle and we waggle in and around Paphos on our way in the direction of downtown Chlorakas. That's where we're going. What we're going to Chlorakas for? Well, one of the pins in my watches has broken, so I'm taking it to a watch maker and he's going to repair it for me. I've gone to him for quite a few years now. Whenever I need a new pin here or there, or the watch wants a service, that's where I go. And he's all the way from downtown Egypt, so he speaks a bit of the Bikalam Arabic. In other words, he speaks a bit of Arabic. He also speaks very good English, and probably speaks very good Greek. Not that that is much use to you or me. Where are we? We're in downtown Konia, that's where we are. So we're about to kiss the cusp of the Limassol roundabout. And if you kept going over that, of course, you'd go straight down towards downtown Paradise, which of course is the downtown Cato Paphos Harbour Promenade and Cato Paphos area, where most of the people coming to Paphos for a holiday, for a vacation, like to hang out. Now, big shout out to some of the superstars that like to come now and again and watch the little channel known as Marika and me. Of course, the girl in charge of the show, well, she doesn't need much of an introduction because of course everyone knows her. Her name is Dame Anne, an absolute superstar, and she is in downtown Paphos as we speak, and we have been honoured to have her company on a few occasions. We've gone out for dinner, we've had a coffee or two, and you never know, tonight we may pop out with her again, and we might get her to dance the Chuchuchka on the downtown Cato Paphos Promenade. And if you want to hunt us down, well, drop it in the messages, and we can arrange to bump into each other. People are hunting us, and sometimes they find us, and sometimes they don't. Anyway, wait a minute, we're going to take a little bit of a right. Excuse the pothole if your name is Lady so sweet Caroline. Get your bottom on a memory foam pillow, but just before you do, why not pour a tot or two for the superstar, the man known as Lord Nigel Big Guns, who likes a watch or two. So this is a little rink road, and we're going to come past the General Hospital. There it is, actually on our right hand side. So if you're looking for the General Hospital, that's where it is, and it's a pretty good hospital, by the way. It's got a good reputation with the locals, the foreigners and the expats, and they queue up to get in there from very early in the morning. We wish and hope that you never ever have to go there, other than perhaps to meet a friend or a relative, because obviously, well, nobody actually wants to go to hospital unless they really have to. So here we are, we're going to take a left. This is the road that comes from Anabargus. It says town centre, 2 kilometres, but But we're not actually going to go to the town centre. Like I say, we're going to take a left, and look at that for a view again. One of the beautiful things about living in Paphos is you're never far away from that blue Mediterranean Sea, and it really is a nice place to live. If you're coming for your holidays, or perhaps going to relocate, if your name is Mr. Tommy and you're a bit of a porn star and you've got a partner in crime and her name is Rebecca, and originally from Scotland, but now you're hanging out in downtown Paya, a very good morning to you. And they understand that Paphos is a spectacular place to live, and probably at the top of that list if you're retiring. Paya is probably at the very top. It's a great area to live, and it literally has everything that you could want, from a doctor's surgery, from a dentist or two, supermarket, which probably is the best in the whole of Cyprus, never mind just Paphos. There's restaurants and diners, and of course lots and lots of people like you and me who have either retired or somehow are earning a living, whether they're working in Cyprus or perhaps getting on a big bird and going out to the Middle East, perhaps oil and gas, that kind of thing. There's lots of reasons to come to Cyprus other than being a retired bank robber or two. So this road links the Fountains roundabout to the intersection, the crossroad between the road that takes us down into hell and eventually down into Midtown and the old town of Paphos. Or if you were to go right, you would go up the Soy Avenue. What's going on here, eh? Bit of a traffic jam in downtown Paphos, Dizzy Blonde. What is going on? Oh, I see, there's a bit of big diggering going on. A lot of big diggering going on in downtown Paphos, by the way. We're going to go straight at this section, by the way. So down, you go into hell, as we call it, and of course down towards the old town. Up to the right, you'd go up the Mosoy Avenue. That's the street with all the big shops and the car dealers and that kind of thing. But we're going to take a bit of a wiggle and a bit of a waggle. And if you look at the sign over there, it says Ember 2 kilometres and Tala 6 kilometres. So we are going to join this road just up here, and it's going to link us to the main Ember to Tala road. And we're taking a bit of a, what should we call it? I would call it a shortcut. There are other ways to get to Chlorakas, but I promise you, at this time of day, I don't know what's going on actually, but normally at this time of day, this is the fastest route. Although something's gone wrong today, because as we can see, I am stuck up the chuff of a smart car. Not a bad car, but I don't think I want to buy one. Imagine if you're driving around in that. What must the potholes be like, Dizzy Bond? I mean, in fact, if you're driving around in that, probably you don't get to drive around for a very long, because now and again, one of those potholes is literally going to eat you for breakfast. Simple as that. So, where are we? We're heading towards Chlorakas. That's where we're going. And we're going to go via Ember, and we're going to crisscross through Lower Tala, and slowly but surely we are going to come down in Chlorakas. So stick with us for that a little bit longer as you learn some of the wiggles and some of the waggles in and around Paphos. And it's a great place to drive around, by the way, it really is. It's not that big a place, and it's very easy to carve up, and it's very difficult to get lost, because all you've got to do is look out for that thing called the blue Mediterranean Sea. And if you can see that, well, you can't be far wrong, can you? Just get down to it and just go either left or right, and eventually you'll find where you are staying or where you are living, because the island of Cyprus is not very big, and Paphos, to be honest, what is it? I mean, Dizzy Blonde, compared to Manchester, Paphos, I don't know. The whole population of Paphos is, well, there's mixed reports, but somewhere between 60 and 90,000 people. So that's smaller than Wrexham, smaller than Chester area where I'm from. Manchester, I think, is around about 1.5 million people. So Paphos is pretty small, which makes it a very safe place as well. Because there's plenty of police around. They don't like to do very much, by the way, but they do have their flip-flops on if they need to run after you. But they've also got guns as well, so that can be a slight advantage if you are in the pursuit of a bad person, whether they be a boy or a girl. Anyway, here we are. We're joining the road that links Tala to Paphos and Ember, and if you notice the signpost there, it did say Chlorakas going this way if we go left, so that's where we're going. And then if you come out at the bottom of this road, by the way, it would bring you out at the very lower part of Chlorakas, or as I would say, the top of the old town. And there's also a chap selling their Mercedes parts, so I'm going to go and see him on the way back, because I've understood that I need a new front strut, because it's starting to leak because of the roads. They're terrible, absolutely terrible. Anyway, big shout out to some more of the superstars. There's a few people joining us, as we may have noticed, and of course there is one girl, and she's had a bit of a promotion lately because she's a superstar, and it's been long overdue, to be honest. So good morning to you, Lady Sally Bryce, superstar amongst superstars, and hopefully when you pop over in September we'll bump into each other. Well, there's no doubt about that, is it? Although Mr. Matt will probably be trying to avoid me, because I'm going to drag him by the scruff of his neck straight down to Mr. Marios, the diamond seller, and see just how much money Mr. Matt has got, and if we perhaps can get him to buy a diamond ring, especially for the superstar known as Lady Sally Bryce. More superstars. Michael Crompton, thanks very much for joining us as a superstar on the Buy Me a Coffee platform. And if you're wondering how the channel is funded, that's how it's funded basically. You go through to our About page and there's a little Buy Me a Coffee icon. Click on that and you'll go through and you have a choice. You can either buy us a coffee or two, and we say thank you very, very much, and we really, really do. And we pop that into the tank and we continue to drive around and make special videos for you. Or you can take all of the complexities out of it and just do it once and join us as a Superstar member on a very, very reasonable figure of €10 a month, not a lot, and you get special videos, and you may even get a special title or two, especially for you. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, why not hit that like, click the subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of our madness in downtown Paphos on a truly spectacular day indeed. Oh, by the way, we are actually in downtown Chlorakas, and we're going to take a right, so don't forget to come back for a little bit more of my insanity.